Hey, just coming in to renew my driver's license. No, not for cars, for boats. I'm clearly dressed like a pirate. Or maybe a bard? Musketeer? I'm not sure. Anyways, I need renewed. What do you mean I'll have to wait longer? It took 3 hours just to get to your desk. What do you mean I was in the wrong line? Curse you, bureaucracy! Welcome to Color Theory, the show where the only things certain are death, taxes, and vampire twinks. Today, we'll be running into fear from the slow, painful death that is Orzhov. Orzhov players are forged in the fiery depths of the BMV, taking the slower, methodical playstyle of white and mixing it with black's ability to shoot someone in the face with a crossbow every time they try to cut in line. Their commanders either do their best to tax your opponents on everything they do, controlling the pace of the game, or on detonating your opponents with a bomb made from ghosts, racism, or dollar store plastic vampire fangs. These strategies are not mutually exclusive. Side effects of playing Orzhov include asking your friends for a carpool fee and then using that money to buy a spiffy new pair of crocodile leather boots, crying profusely when someone starts playing the game before you've had time to set up your elaborate master plan, and bursting into flame after eating garlic bread. Orzhov is a methodical guild, slowly advancing their playstyle through combo pieces, accruing advantage, and patiently sitting in the background draining and poking other players, while making retaliation difficult. This can be an infuriating deck to play against, but an engaging deck to pilot. What's most enjoyable, though, is the pivot. Once all the pieces are in place, you switch from a defensive and controlling playstyle to an explosive killing machine that thrives on genocide, truly embodying the power fantasy of becoming the American government. White-Black has two sticking points that both hit hard. Firstly, your plans take several pieces, often that you don't have access to right off the bat and don't have the resources to back up. White and Black have access to a decent amount of cost reduction, rituals, and tutors, but can struggle to pick up a short-term rising card advantage and mana access, instead relying on steadily gaining said advantage over several turns. Secondly, and on a similar note, those pieces take time to get out. Whereas combinations with red, blue, and green are quick to move forward with their plans, Orzhov gets held back by a lack of speed and an inability to establish an early board presence. If you're a fan of Death and Taxes, criminally underrated hit indie game, then let's help you get some practice with these wonderfully maniacal commanders. Ariette of the Charmed Apple is what happens when you let a US senator read fairy tales, but instead of learning a valuable life lesson about sharing or friendship, they smile devilishly and say something to the tune of, "I can sell this." Ariette turns every aura card that you play into a big old ball and chain, preventing those creatures from attacking you and draining your opponents for each enchanted creature they control that you got to play dress-up with. She can both act as a defensive playstyle, slowly locking down opposing threats and boosting your own life, or can swing into a fun politicky deck, negotiating with your biggest threats and pitting them against each other. My favorite thing to do, though, is sneak in useful life gain payoffs to accrue advantage while also sending the Pinkertons to Timmy's doorstep. Play lots of cheap, reusable auras, ways to keep Ariette on the field, and fun win conditions to close out games sooner than the table expected. Brina, the demagogue, is capitalism at its finest. Don't be confused by their sweet bird demeanor. This is a warmongering arms dealer in a big bird costume. Her effect is a whole lot of words that effectively amounts to, punch my healthiest opponent and I will pay you in small, unmarked dollar bills, while also dosing on Bane Venom. By encouraging opponents to attack each other, you create a fun little Jedi mind trick, because the only thing Magic players enjoy more than winning is drawing cards. Just be careful. Around the fourth time everyone triggers Brina's effect, they'll remember that Palpatine with a beak has been roiding up, and oh yeah, they deal commander damage. Did I mention they can fly? Play lots of ways to keep Brina on the field, common theme with this color, ways to benefit from her 1/1 counters, and a few ways to limit your opponents from circumventing the beautiful little arrangement you've set up by setting their house on fire when they look at you. Killian, Ink Duelist, is just a little guy. He goes to school, he wears fancy clothes. Look at him, he's just a little guy. A 2-2 for 2, those are bear stats. He's just a little bear. Never mind that he has 2 relevant keywords for combat, makes all of your auras drastically cheaper, and lets you throw out targeted removal like a traumatized Oprah who's had enough of your nonsense. Funny thing about auras and targeted removal? Wizards has a habit of printing really bad cards of those types that would be stellar if it weren't for slapping on an extra 2 to their mana cost. If I were you, I would look into those. Our daddy's boy over here works as a solid Voltron commander, waiting and poking with targeted removal until you have enough auras to gear up and set your school on— Whoa, bad joke, bad joke, bad joke. Settle down, Apollo, whoa, let's try that one again. To gear up and get revenge on Harry Potter for not knowing who your father is. Play plenty of cheap targeted removal in auras, ways to benefit from lifelink, and permanents that will net you lots of advantage for doing things that Killian already wanted to do. And with that, we've reached the other end. Like and subscribe, but also tell me any Orzhov commanders I missed that you think deserve the spot. Tax your enemies, tax your frenemies, and hell, tax your anemones if that's what floats your bureaucratic boat, but most importantly, I am coming for your soul ring.